What is the stupidest way you've injured yourself? I found my dad's EpiPen one day while looking for mouth spray for sore throats. It obviously wasn't what I was looking for, but I wanted to figure out how it worked. I ended up shooting the needle clear through my thumb. I then hid the evidence of my stupidity and never told my mom until years later. I'm sure your heart was racing for multiple reasons, not even counting the epinephrine. Yikes. Not me, but a babysitter when I was about 6. She was watching me and my 1-year-old brother, and went snooping in my dad's stuff. He was military, in a job that stood alerts often, and he kept a gas mask and such in a go bag at home. This 16-year-old screwed around and injected herself with an atropine auto-injector in the hand. Her screams alerted me. I called the club my parents were at and told them. They called an ambulance. The sitter was almost unconscious when they took her away as my parents got home. I still remember the weird color she turned. Drank hot tea lying down. The first thing you learn in British school is to never drink tea lying down. See, this one is just one of those times where human thinking isn't at its peak. I live in Minnesota, so I am used to kicking snow off my boots by slamming my toe part of the boot down on the ground. Well, it was summer and I happened to get my running shoes absolutely covered in mud, so I instinctively slammed my toes down on the pavement and broke 4 toes. Holy fuck, I get that running shoes don't exactly have the same structural support as a winter boot, but damn son. How much force did you pack into that storm? Oak, just gonna scoot right past you there to head to the emergency room. Tried to stand up off the floor of a pub toilet after drunk dialing my ex and tore my knee cartilage. Was on crutches for a couple of weeks after that and ended up needing surgery. The real question, did you leave your ex a weird ass voicemail? Shot myself in the eye with a Nerf gun. I looked into the barrel to see if it was loaded. I was 8. Sounds like a supervillain backstory. Similar situation with a slingshot and a ball bearing. Luckily it hit my tooth and not my eye. Luckily it was also a baby tooth. Stabbed myself in the leg with a piece of metal. It was really thin and tapered at the tip, so when you swung it you would hear this really cool whoosh sound. I swung down way too hard and it went right into my shin. Bad times. I did this but I swung up instead, frown ripped my forehead. I dropped something behind my couch, leaned over the back to pick it up and cracked a rib. Was in pain for a week. Getting old as hell. Bartender here. Reached a little extra to wipe the bar for new guests on a busy night. Popped a rib. 6 weeks later, still hurts a bit if I sleep on it. Kicker was I then adjusted my breathing because of the pain, so my diaphragm became irritated. I adjusted again and then my abs started to hurt. Adjusted again and now it's diaphragm, abs, and obliques. That was the longest weekend of my life. I honestly thought I was dying that Saturday. But I didn't have a fever, so I figured it was a bizarre injury. Which it was. Like I said, still hurts if I do it wrong, but the muscle pain is gone. I broke a rib by coughing too hard. I'm just getting over the flu. Did the same thing. Punch myself in the tit while trying to fuck around with my sleeves. I don't know how it happens, but it happens often. Having punched, smacked, squeezed, bruised my tits since they grew in, I am pretty sure they are their own entities. Yes, I spelled it that way on purpose. I don't know how, but I regularly gouge myself in the nipple with my very long thumbnail when I am getting ready in the morning. Just stab. When I was a kid we had blue carpet in the living room. I had just watched some movie or show where the characters jumped into a painting and I started thinking maybe if I believed really hard, the blue carpet would turn into a vast ocean. So I climbed up on the recliner and swan dove into the floor. When I was maybe 5 or 6 I had recurring dreams that if I ran downhill, against the wind fast enough, and jumped, I could fly. They were extremely realistic. It was also very frequent, to the point where I began to doubt their status as dreams. One day, I noticed the wind was blowing up the hill we live atop. I decided to try it. I sprinted full speed down this hill and leapt hard as I could, and promptly smashed my face against the sidewalk. Let's go. Riding my bike home in 5th grade slowly alongside my walking friends. Friend, Drew, look where you're going, Drew. No dude, I'm good at biking, I can do it with my eyes closed. Friend, no really dude, look out. Drew, no man, I'm good. Instantly crashes into a parked car, mess up my bike chain, have to drag my bike home in shame and explain to my mom why my knee and lip are bleeding. I've done something very similar before, and I've also been named Drew before, so I'm relatively certain you are me. To try to get a cheap laugh out of my ex, I threw a hammer as hard as I could at a tree. The hammer bounced off the tree, and I turned just in time for it to hit me in the small of my back. Miracle I'm not paralyzed. Thank goodness you weren't throwing an axe. This sounds like you asked for Thor superpowers and the douchebag genie fulfilled your wish. Threw a grape in the air to catch it in my mouth. It fell on the floor and I bent down to pick it up and smashed my face into the windowsill. That actually made me laugh. Sorry. Walked onto a manhole cover that was not placed on correctly. Ended up in the hospital and had to have 3 surgeries over 4 months. Tragedy is when I cut my finger. Comedy is when you fall into an open sewer and die. Mel Brooks. Did you at least get a sweet settlement from the city? Was helping husband replace the bathroom fan, so I was standing on the side of the bathtub. I had this plastic hook glued to the shower wall to hang a loofah on. I went to get down and slid down the wall and hooked my butt cheek to the wall. It hurt so bad but was also hilarious. I'm in my 40s and this happened recently. I bent over while having a shower and gouged a hole above my tailbone on the bath tap. Not me but my best friend. She tried to iron her pants while wearing them. Your friend is the reason obvious warning labels exist. Lol. Tripped over a storage ottoman trying to jump over it all slick. Got my toes wedged in the latch and broke my foot in 2 places. I was pulling a heavy blanket up, my hand slipped off of it, and my thumb, with a longish nail, went straight into my eye. Oh my god, I just flinched reading that. Did that result in a hospital trip? I've done this on more than one occasion, sans the nail part and just punching myself in the cheekbone, as well as when pulling up the sleeve of a hoodie or sweater that's too tight on the arms. Edit, words added. Rode a bike with no shoes and no brakes. Stopping with my foot out of habit and skinned the entire top of my foot. Edit, thank you everyone for sharing your stories. I've never had a comment this popular. RIP my inbox. Edit too, since people are confused as to how I skinned the top of my foot. I'd stopped my bike with the ball of my right foot. Usually my shoes provided traction and slowed me down. Since I was going so fast and didn't have shoes when I put my foot down, the speed made my foot bend forward, top down. Hope that helps. This made me wince. Had a co-worker who lost a toe riding a bike barefoot when she was a kid. She used to scare kids into wearing shoes with that story. I was in the 4th or 5th grade but I jumped down an entire flight of stairs, landed hard and hurt my foot. Walked on it for a day or 2 afterwards. Turned out I shattered my heel and broke my ankle. Hey, I did that same thing. In college. Shattered my heel trying to get down from the roof of a wall. Slipped and landed on bare feet on asphalt. Almost lost 2 toes in the process. Broke both feet, but only shattered one heel. I don't know how you could walk. I crawled to my car and had to drive myself, screaming the whole way, to the ER since no one drove stick. Broke my 5th metatarsal in my left foot when my heel slid sideways out of a 1.5-inch wedge sandal. Cartwheeled on my left foot from the heel to my toes, landed on my right hip. 3 months in a walking boot. But were the sandals really cute? One time in middle school I was getting ready to head to school, but I couldn't find any pants. When I finally did, I got so excited, and lifted them up really fast as a way to cheer. All of a sudden I felt so much pain in my shoulder and had to go to the doctors. Turns out I dislocated my shoulder and had to wear a sling for the next few days. I don't know if this is the stupidest way I injured myself ever, but this is kind of funny and it happened today. I was looking at AskReddit and there was a guy who said he had a naked pic on his user page. So I was walking down the stairs from my apartment. And I clicked on the guy's profile and I wasn't prepared for the sheer ridiculousness of the guy's pic. Lol. I missed a step and fell flat on my ass and down about 7 or 8 stairs, but the worst part is an old lady saw me fall and picked up my phone. The naked pizza guy is still on it and she went to speak and didn't say anything and silently handed me my phone. I can never look at her again ever. This is the comment where the guy said it. Not to be morbid, but what if you died because of that guy's pic? What would the obituary have said? Click the link. Do not regret. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.